Okay, this is breaking news, and Stephanie McMahon has resigned from WWE as co-CEO. Nick Khan is now CEO. Vince McMahon is now officially executive chairman of the board. Triple H is still chief content officer, head of creative. Okay, so I think there's two sides. One side makes it seem like it's not really that big of a deal and it can easily be overblown. And the other side makes it sound like it is a big deal and that there's some shit going on in Stamford, Connecticut. But the side that makes it seem like there's nothing wrong, because that makes it seem like there's nothing going on. So if you remember, last summer, or right before the summer, Stephanie announced, a sabbatical that she was taking a break from WWE. And then, like 8 weeks later, she had to come back because Vince had to resign. And she had to become CEO. So first she had to become interim CEO when Vince stepped down, and then she had to become co-CEO with Nick Khan when Vince, 100% retired. Fast forward to now, January. Vince is back, looking to sell the company. Possibly sell the company, because they're kind of double speaking it. They're like, he's back to sell the company, but also we might not sell it. So they kind of double speaking it. So I don't know if he's using the whole sell thing as his leverage for the TV rights deal, because the TV rights have to be renegotiated this summer, apparently. Or if he he's serious about selling the company and dipping out and getting his check and getting himself a big ass check. So if you didn't, the stock has rallied like a motherfucker off that news. But that's another thing. All right, so they hold an all points, they hold an all hands meeting at WWE with all the wrestlers and shit, saying that even though Vince is back as chairman, nothing changes because he's not gonna be involved with the creative. Nobody's pushes on to get fucked up because of this. He's just chairman, there to help negotiate the TV deals, help potentially negotiate a sale. Flash forward to now, Tuesday, a week later, or less than a week later. Yeah, really, it's less than a week later, because it was Friday. It was Thursday evening when the news broke. I think they had the meeting with the wrestlers on Friday, and now it's Tuesday, so not even a week later. Stephanie has resigned. I'm assuming effective immediately. Nick Khan is now the sole CEO. Triple H is still CCO and head of creative, and Vince is now officially executive chairman. So you can say, because she in her statement, she made it sound like the reason why she's leaving again and resigning is tied to the same reason she went on a break before. That's what the statement made it sound like. And it's not like it sounded like Vince came in and pushed her out. So you could say that, and that's the side of it that says there's nothing wrong. She's just doing whatever reason she left before. She's just gonna go ahead and take care of whatever that was. I don't know if it was health. I don't know if it was. I think she said she wanted to take care of something family related, but I'm not sure that's what she said. Whatever the reason was, apparently it's still enough of a thing for her to resign now that Vince is back. On the other side, that makes you say, well, maybe there's some shit going on in Stamford. Vince tried to come back already before. The entire board unanimously told him, fuck no, stay your ass retired. And if you did not know, the entire board includes Stephanie, Triple H, and Nick Khan. So Stephanie, Triple H, and Nick Khan all agreed with the rest of the board to tell him stay the fuck retired. So now that he's back and Stephanie's leaving, it does call into question, why did she agree with the rest of them? Why did she agree with her and Triple H? Agree with the rest? Because I assume that Nick Khan, if anything, as far as I know, he was Vince's guy. So even the fact that he unanimously agreed with everybody else said something now that Vince has forced himself, because Vince forced himself back in. They didn't tell him, okay, you can come back. He forced himself back in using the fact that he still had majority shareholders. He still had the majority shareholder. He still had majority control of the company via his stock. So they can't tell him no, pretty much. And he can do whatever he wants to do. So, conspiracy theory is like, well, so if Vince can force himself in, Stephanie leaves less than a week later, after she had already agreed with the rest of the board to tell him to stay his ass the fuck retired. So if she's telling him to stay retired, and he forces, and then meaning whatever reasoning she had for leaving and before and then resigning now, that must not have been an issue before. And now all of a sudden he's forced himself back in. A week later, less than a week later, she leaves. Is Triple H next? That's what you got to think about it. Like, is Triple H next? Triple H didn't leave when Stephanie left before. When she took a little break. But that was a different circumstance at that point. Triple H wasn't the CCO at that point. Stephanie was the CEO. Vince didn't have this whole situation back then. So that goes to ask the question, was this move on Vince's part the first move to him forcing himself back into creative? Because as of right now, he's saying Nick Khan stays CEO, Triple H stays CCO. Like I said, a lot of shit probably ain't gonna come to light until it's too late. Like if that really is the plot, we're not gonna find out until it actually happens, pretty much. Unless there's like some leak, somebody talking, the shit be getting leaked and shit like that. So unless there's like another leak, us finding out what the fuck actually happened, we probably won't find out until it happens, if it does happen. If he does force himself back into CEO and demote Nick Khan back down to CFO, because I think Nick Khan was CFO. So I think he was CFO. I may be wrong about that. So if he forces himself back in and puts Nick Khan back down to CFO, takes creative back from Triple H and sends him back to NXT. Unless that actually happens, we probably won't find out until it happens what the play is here. But let me know what you think. Do you think Stephanie leaving was just like the first? Do you think Vince came in and forced her out? That's basically what I'm getting at. Do you think he forced her out? Do you think this is the first move of his plot to take back full control of the company? Do you think? Why do you think him selling the company works into all of this? Do you think he's just trying to? Because some people are like, he's just trying to just destroy the company since he can't run it anymore and collect a check and dip. But that doesn't really make, because if he sells someone the company, they're going to want the company to be run well, depending on how hands-on they're going to choose to be with it. So he can't just destroy the company, because that would defeat, he can't just destroy the company before he sells it. He can't do both. He has to make sure it's running good and everything's good and strong and stable before he tries to sell it to someone, or else no one's going to buy it. Or he can destroy it. But he can't do both. Unless he can, well, even then that wouldn't make sense. I was like, unless he destroys the company, but he sells the He sells the IP. He sells the legacy of the company, the video library, the rights to do shit with, toys and shit. But the company itself dies, no more WWE. Which I don't think he would really do that. But still, what do you think is the play here? What do you think is going to happen with the company? Do you think Vince is going to take it over? Who do you think he's going to sell it to? Do you think he's going to sell it at all? What do you think is the play here? I think this is the first move, him getting more power. I think it is very possible that he will eventually edge Triple H out, either out or edge Triple H back down to NXT and take creative from him. Because I think if he wasn't going to do that, he wouldn't have done this so far. He would not have come back and been like, oh, he would not have come in and said, because he literally forced his way back into the company. They told him no. Stephanie, Triple H, Nick Khan, the rest of the board told him no. Everybody said no. Stay your ass the fuck home. And he forced his way back into the company. So just that move alone tells you he doesn't give a fuck. Like, the company's thriving without him. Ratings are way up from when he was there. Money, the ticket sales have gone up. Everything is going up without him. And I think his ego couldn't handle that. And he just couldn't stay away. Because there was reports coming out even before this happened. Before he came back, I was like, he was regretting leaving and he wished he had stayed. And he was mad at the people who talked him into retiring because he felt like the situation would have just blown over. But there's also like the point that some people say that maybe if he takes full control, it could hurt the chances of selling because companies might not want to buy from him because of him having these allegations over his head. I don't think that'll hurt it. I think as long as that motherfucker making money, they're gonna want to buy it. Someone's gonna want to buy it, either Amazon, Apple, Disney, Comcast, who else? The Saudi, apparently the Saudi investment fund might want to get it. I say, at the worst case, if they can't sell it to anybody American, they will sell it to the Saudi Investment Trust. Believe me, nigga. Because, first off, look at the soccer teams that got bought out by, like, the Middle Eastern, not just the Saudis, but the Emirates, all them. They taking their own money and buying soccer teams. Them soccer teams is doing good as fuck. So they clearly care about spending the money to make sure their investments don't do good. So I don't think there would be any real issue. I don't think they would not sell it to the Saudis. If the Saudis, I think whoever offered the most money, possibly the best deal in terms of, how much control they're gonna try to take over the company. If they're just if they just want to own the rights to the company, but still let Triple H and Nick Khan, Vince run it, then that could be a deal that they want. Rather than, they try to come in and completely take it over and just bullshit around with the company until it just fucking dies. Which is like what kind of happened with WCW apparently. But WCW had more issues than just that, but that was part of it. Part of why WCW died. Because they got, like, the parent company, I think they were like the Time Warner AOL merge or some shit like that. And when that happened, the new people in charge did not give a fuck about WCW, and we saw what happened. But this is a different situation because it's not like a company is buying another company that owns WWE. They're directly buying WWE. So they must have some type of interest into letting WWE still continue to thrive and make money. So it would be in their best interest to not try to fuck shit up. Otherwise, they're just wasting their money at that point. But let me know what you think of everything. And I'll see you in the next video. Like, comment, share, subscribe for more wrestling-related videos, as well as other related videos that you go to the channel and check out. And I will see you. Peace out.